What's up, everybody? Welcome to Froggy Stocks. Nothing I say is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Not a financial advisor. Wanted to talk a little bit about all the news about recession and news about the GameStop crowd trying to lock the float up, which is the fact that the news is talking about that is pretty important. Happy they're talking about it. Pretty big deal. I got some people coming in on a Twitter space call too, so I'll bring them up. What's good, everybody? What's good? You guys want to come up and talk? Feel free. I'm just going over some data points real quick. Got an article here from the street. GameStop direct registration is increasing. No surprise, we've been talking about DRS for a while now. GameStop stocks direct registration is increasing. Free float being locked up to prevent shares from falling into the hands of the brokers. GameStop shareholders are using DRS to register shares. Number of GameStop shareholders who are using direct registration has increased significantly. See, the direct registration services provide shareholders with the ability to lock up their assets without needing a brokerage house behind them. Registered shares through DRS, shareholders can register and transfer their shares via an agent and book entry. Bring our buddies up. What's up, guys? OmniLaw, thank you for sending me that article, by the
way. Good morning. What's up, everyone?
Going over some crazy news, man. I can't believe they're actually talking about direct registration in a finance article.
Only a matter of time. Making progress, I guess. Keep it up, boss.
Man, you up early today.
Me?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm always up at like 4 a.m., bro.
I'm just kidding.
I'm usually on other calls, but
I know.
I decided I'm gonna start just hosting calls again and doing market talk stuff. So
go. The more knowledge, the better we are, man.
Yep.
You should really get a Discord going, man. That would be really.
I know. I'm doing my YouTube right now. It's like, I don't know. I kind of have a Discord. I don't have a Discord. Like, I have the program, but I've never really used it. But I don't know. I'll look at it and see. It's like another thing I got to do. But I do have a phone call with Wes Christian at 2 p.m. today, so that's good. They were very quick to respond.
Yeah, that's really good. You know, unless we don't talk to him, you know, some answers we can only get from him, you know, personally.
Yep.
So that'll be good. You know, there'll be a lot of clarity, you know, a lot of people who can get out of that.
Yeah, I'm going to have a detailed conversation with notes and everything with him, and I'm going to find out the details on exactly what we can and cannot do. If you guys could please tweet out the call, I'd appreciate it.
Already did, boss.
Thanks, brother, man. Then you got, this is funny this morning. You got Kathy Wood saying she thinks we are already in a recession. Then you got other people saying we're not in a recession. And then you got Charles Payne tweeting out, it's short squeeze season again. Hedge funds are net short, and their mouthpieces are all over TV trying to talk the market down another leg. But they are being squeezed big time. Heavy shorted names, champing at the bit, pre-market trading. These guys never went long. They never fixed their positions. They're still short. More than likely, we are in a recession, at least the beginning anyways. But what's going to happen is when this finally blows up, all these hedge funds that are, you know, talking the talk but can't walk the walk, they're going to have to liquidate their blue chips. People's 401ks are going to get hit really bad. So I think this next leg down is probably going to be it.
Of course, the bar is looking sexy.
What's that?
I was saying the cost of borrow is looking sexy.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the things with DRS. Is that as we've been doing and as we've been pushing it, and more folks are doing it, the AMC cost to borrow has been going up. And the same thing with GME. The GME cost to borrow has been absolutely exploding. because people are direct registering their shares. So that's that many less shares that are out in the market to short. And in theory, now you're making less money by volume by loaning shares. So you need to make it up by intensity, which is increasing your cost to borrow. And then you got other plays. Redbox cost to borrow is insane. I'm staying away from Redbox because the buyout language is not good for people holding the stock. But Revlon is up over 900% cost to borrow. Like, it's just crazy. 67% short interest with a 900% cost to borrow. That's insane.
Yeah, just imagine if that news of Reliance came out to be true. What's gonna happen to them shorts? Those who are shorting those Revlon.
Yeah.
It'll be another just like GameStop.
It'll be better than Hertz, that's for sure.
Have you been looking at the change of share hands and Eric Sprott on HYMC? Something about he had to sell some shares in order to stay under 9.8% ownerage, something like that.
He did a filing where it showed that he did sell 5 million shares of AMC. Now, as to the reasons why, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm sure he had to do it for some type of legal reason or reporting reason. Because it just doesn't make sense for him to be like, oh, I'm just going to sell 5 million.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, that's fine. I'm fine with them. I'm trying to get to 20,000 shares on that one before it hits. So the lower the price, the better.
Yeah, that's a good position to have. It's a good price right now too. I didn't think we'd see under $1.25 again. It's definitely at a good entry price right now. And zoom out on the daily or the 4 hour and just look how stable it's been at that level. It's pretty bullish. It's getting ready to make some type of breakout here pretty soon. And I'm guessing Diane Garrett's, we're getting into July. Diane Garrett said full-scale commercial operation by 2023. So I'm guessing not only Hycroft, but AMC is going to have some pretty good. Me what in YouTube says Sprott can't own more than 9.8%. But if all the warrants on stock is exercised, then he would be 422 mil shares outstanding. He could own 41 million shares. Or the stock would be 420. So, yeah, thanks, Miwa. It's more or less they're setting up to exercise these warrants. I said earlier, I think Adam Aaron's $100 million comment more than likely is something set up for the exercising of the Hycroft warrants. Because the shorts are still in that play. They never left. The short interest went down because the float was diluted with the at the market offering, which isn't a bad thing. The short sellers are still in there. They're just paying a higher price. When this thing finally retakes 340 and holds, that's when it's really going to put the pressure on them. They're not going to want to be anywhere.
Yeah, I bought about 2,000 yesterday. If it stays at this price, I'll probably pick up some more this week.
Yeah, I decided I wasn't going to drive home because I was going to go home and get some stuff done and meet some people on the way. But man, the gas prices are so insane. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm going to pay $1,800 to get there and back, which, whatever. But I'm like, do I really want to pay that drive all day, or do I want to buy more shares? And I decided I wanted to buy more shares.
Man, good time.
What else is going on? Anybody's got anything interesting they want to talk about, feel free. This is more like a market open type of chat thing.
You know what I'm wondering about? I'm wondering if the gold is going to go up because it keeps going down, even though they said they're not importing from Russia anymore. I'm still seeing the price drop below like 1830.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, the price for gold and silver does not look correct to me. And like again, we've talked about it. The problem is paper trading they're doing on this commodity. It's just crazy. Gold and silver being this low in a time that we're in, where we're facing recession, we have a pseudo war going on, and now Russia, the G7 is looking at banning the Russian gold, which they're one of the top 3 gold producers in the world, and make over 10% of the world's gold. So until that's backed up with another source, that's another supply chain shortage too for semiconductors, connectors, other types of things.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it was like what 19, it was about 2000, maybe like 2 months ago. I
Yeah,
don't see why it keeps going down.
I think it's being shorted. I think people know what's going on. They're shorting gold to accumulate as much as they can, and they're going to let this thing just fucking rip, you know? Banks are accumulating more gold now than they have in the past like 40 years, according to MSM articles. So, oh man, AMC. Elvis, this is the weekend box office only, so you know, didn't beat Top Gun total, but Elvis actually beat out Top Gun in the weekend box office last weekend, which is a really, really good thing because it means Elvis is actually performing close to the same levels. I wouldn't say at the same level, but at least to 10 to 20% of the same level that Top Gun was at. And as of today, we still have 2 days left in the reporting period before Q2 is over. So it ends June 30th. So we got 3 more days of revenues coming into AMC that's going to be added to the report, which I think they are going to absolutely blow people's minds. Like, I would say I almost think they're going to be at least 5 cents positive EPS, if not more, because the numbers that I'm seeing, the amount of market share that AMC took was incredible on all the major hit movies this summer. Yeah, minutes till market
3
open.
minutes.
Revlon up 2%.
You still think that's going to run?
I personally do, but it's a very, very dangerous play, like insanely dangerous, because all that needs to happen is if Reliance comes out and says, no, we're not buying it, this thing will crash. If they say they will buy it, it's probably going to run. But there's super heavy short interest with over 900% cost to borrow, and they're now on the security threshold list, the NYSE. So that means there's a pile of failure to delivers that needs to be cleared, which I would think in my head that they plan on doing it probably July 15th, which is going to make a major push for the expiration date on the most call options I've seen loaded up on this stock to date. And if they do, this thing could run pretty hard. But like I said, this is an extremely dangerous play. You could lose 50% of your money in literally a 10-second period if the news turns on us. Mycroft
Hey,
doing its thing. What's up?
what is the talk on Wednesday with Jerome Powell? Isn't he talking on Wednesday?
Is it? Let me pull up the FOMC stuff.
I'm just thinking because I'm sure they're setting up everything, so they're doing the thing like normal. They like to do pumps before. That's what I've been doing. That's about all the shit. Like it's like I'm so done with everything except AMC and stuff.
I don't see anything about a meeting scheduled on their site. 2022, June 14th and 15th, they had press conferences. Then it doesn't say anything until July 26th and 7th, but it doesn't have any notes. It's almost like they're trying to keep it kind of hidden.
Yeah, that's weird. I swear a couple days ago people were tweeting about something.
I know they got to raise rates again coming up here pretty soon. So
Well, yeah, like, like
oh yeah.
Well, he came out. He made he's telling people some of the lowest in years. What time to buy? And he kind of winked on camera, like, why is Wall Street not buying? Why are the big guys not buying? Why are the institutions not pumping shit by now?
He's making fun. He's making fun of Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kramer was talking about buying and if you own a 401k and you're not getting out of your haven't got out of your 401 or you're not going to, then yeah, I would say I would personally I would go full aggressive on my 401k and I would maxing out my contributions, build up as much of a position through the market dip crash as you can before it recovers. And then I'd say after about a 50% recovery, I would put it back down to your normal contributions, because you literally double your 401k up through a market crash pretty easy. They want the general public to panic when this stuff happens, so they get out of their 401ks, they panic sell it, and a bunch of cheap shares get thrown out on the market.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Is a lot of this has got to do with regulation, because there's so many things, so many stocks that I've been watching for the last year that I have on my list that I don't own any right now, but I bought up high, and then I've watched it go down to super low levels. Some of these levels were before 2018, and it's like, it goes down, but then it goes back up. So it's like, well, obviously they accumulated, they picked all that up, and now they're good on that.
Now the market's open. I know my man Froggy's in the stock, and so far Rev's up 4%, and AMC taking a hit at 2%, which is what we talked about yesterday. I had a theory that some of these hedge funds had sold off on Revlon to take some cash out to go and cover a little bit of T+35 stuff on AMC. Also knowing that we just had the GameStop report come out. They came over, they pumped AMC a little bit, and then they're going to knock it down to kind of try to discourage everybody, which isn't going to freaking work anyway. Selling their stock.
They're just going to buy more if it goes down. It's just people are going to accumulate more. It's just,
Well, with earnings coming up, going positive, yeah. The funny thing is I've been watching Revlon really hard, because all the same companies that were shorting AMC, Wolverine, Citadel, Susquehanna, they're all long on Revlon. They're using Revlon as a liquidity generator. They ran it from $1.90 to $9, and now they're sitting on 600%. So they have money now to go out into the market and use. I got a feeling that they knew Reliance was going to buy this out. I mean, we talked in Froggy Styles channel about this specifically a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago at $1.90. We said, hey, let's take bets and see who's going to end up buying out Revlon, because $0.5 billion in assets they have on book.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up, and that was amazing, because I wasn't into it before. I never bought any, but I remember you saying, like, look, I told you it was going to run out of nowhere, and it just took off like 30-40% or something. So that's the makeup company, right?
Yep. And
Okay.
again, for anybody just coming in, that play is so volatile and dangerous.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like one of those things we're already got enough on our hands with AMC and GameStop.
What's crazy is that the SPY just shot up over 1%. I have no freaking how the SPY is performing the way it is, because for one, if you go to the daily, the SPY is in a descending channel, like very, very bad since January of 2022. It's done nothing but consistently on the daily go down. And I think what's happening is you can see these big dumps and these big pumps try to break in and out of this channel. Well, we're getting close to the bottom, and I think what's going to happen is we're going to hit this top line around 400, and then it's just absolutely going to fall off like hard. It's almost like they're trying to time it, bring it back down to that pre-pandemic high. We got a break back down off of this 399 400 channel resistance line, and then I think once we do, we're going to break back down past 360, and then we're going to start that process of 362 and 90 just bouncing up and down. IWM has had a couple good days in a row. Funny, more than likely because AMC is not dragging it down now because of ridiculous short interest on it.
Spence, were you talking about going to Nevada for to see HYMC?
I would like to. I want to go and visit the mine and take a tour. I'm just into that kind of stuff anyway. But man, I'm not gonna lie. What's up?
Not that far from you though.
It's 12 hours. It's a 10, 12 hour drive, so it's not bad, but still I'm
Yeah.
sitting here like, man, I'm not paying $5 a gallon for gas.
Yeah. It's bad. Yeah.
I'll put
The gas
together
is so bad.
I'll put together puzzles until gas is back below $2, man. I just pay for some.
Hey, I have to pay almost $7 a gallon in diesel, man. Come on now, bro.
Dude, it's so bad for sugar people, like guys like you, truckers and farmers. Oh man, the farmers, man.
Dude, trucking has never been this bad. I have been doing this for a lot of years now. And even in COVID, diesel was like less than $2 a gallon. I mean, if we was getting paid less money, but we was able to make it because, the diesel was cheap. But just imagine like almost $7 a gallon in diesel. These people, and that's one of the reasons why everything is expensive. Because with diesel, not just diesel goes up. Like my oil change has went up. Like even a quart of oil, like I used to put in my brake, it used to be like $4 or $5 a quart. Now it's like $12 a quart, like double the price. So if the tire last week I put 3 tires, that would cost me like maybe $330 for a trailer tire. It was $600. So I don't know. A lot of people, those who had like new trucks and trailers, they picked up last year. They picked it up like 70, 80,000 over the asking price because there was not enough trucks. And now those people are not able to make the payment. So they're just giving it back to the banks. And there are so many trucks and trailers now in the market. People, those who bought it like $80,000, $90,000 more, now they are all messed up.
Well, that's what's really bad is, people are trying to work and survive and keep the economy going. Banks are something back because you're not making. Banks just holding assets that nobody can afford. So it's just this vicious cycle. And, they're going to start going after people's houses pretty soon. They're getting ready to raise rent and rates again. So housing, building, buying, plummet. And then you see the loaning institution firing people left and right. I mean, it's coming. There is a recession. We're not already in it. It's coming. I personally, we're going to see depression because as of right now, they've done nothing to tackle the rising fuel prices. They've done nothing to try to stop inflation. Raising interest rates is not going to stop inflation at this. It's just going to make everything harder on everybody else. What they need to do is they need to revitalize our economy by saying, go drill oil right now. Do whatever you got to do to get our energy infrastructure back up and running as quickly as possible. And I'll tell you something real bad. President Biden going out and dumping into the reserves before winter and before hurricane season, absolute disaster. It's not going to be good. I told my families back home in Michigan, I said, you guys better go out and get locked into a contract for propane like right now. There's a lot of people out there still use propane, and I got a feeling that stuff's going to go through the freaking roof.
Yeah, the house I was building, I will finally get my house. I'll be able to move in next month.
Good,
it took them. Thank you. It took them 19 months to build that house that they were supposed to build in 10 months. And I was lucky, I locked my interest rate 4 months ago. The same interest rate is like 6.5%, and I locked it under 3%. So just imagine all those people, those who, and they are saying that by end of this year into next March and April, they're talking about 10 to 12% interest. Can you imagine what that will do?
If you have a house right now, you got an interest rate under 4%. Personally, I have mine at 3 in Michigan. I decided, no, I'm not going to sell it because what's going to happen is you're going to have people continue to buy houses at insane interest rates, right? So when you put a house out on the market and you've got a 3% interest rate, sell your interest rate for another $10,000. What people want from me now is what we call a land contract. They give me a down payment and basically for a 2-year period, pay me a house payment. month by month that goes towards the principal. And if they back out, you basically keep all the money. If they can't get a loan, then you keep all the money. Obviously, that's not a good situation for them, but it is what it is. If they do that, they're saving themselves paying a 9% interest rate because they're paying me at the 3%, which you could even move it up to 5 if you wanted to, and they're still getting the better deal. So don't ever think that your house during like a housing crash doesn't have value. You just got to look and sell your interest rate, especially if you have an assumable. Sell that interest rate for a lot of money. But if you're looking, if you are looking to buy a house, I would say in about 6 to 12 months, you're going to have an incredible opportunity to buy houses at an insane low price. You're going to have a high interest rate. You'll get a house for 30, 40,000 less. You can always refinance a year or two later when the economy flips back around. Finance and get that 8% interest down to 3. I'll be looking at property a lot in the next. Anyways, the market's not. AMC's trying to recover. Revlon went up 5% and then bumped back down. That's gonna. I'm looking at Revlon out to July 15th. That's why I'm still holding. Right now, I made probably $3 grand on it on the way up. Just took about $1,000 back down on this, back down to the 650 line. But I'm holding out for the news that I'm holding out July 15th. All these calls end up landing money on July 15th. News are due to. This thing is probably getting on pretty hard. Again, if Reliance says they're not buying it, they absolutely.
Hey, what are your thoughts on GameStop? I mean, the fact that there's hardly any shares to borrow and it's hardly shares to find, and of course to borrow.
Honestly, right now it's my best. That's the funny. I'm up more.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting a lot of money in that.
I think them locking up the float is cost to borrow, the utilization, short interest is all going up since they started announcing numbers on how many shares they DRS'd. And the funny thing is, you still got a stock split dividend coming out. And I'm wondering if they're waiting to do that because they know that they've DRS'd so many shares, they don't want to dump any more back into the float, or they are doing it because they have enough DRS shares. When they issue the stock split dividend, they're going to have to first go to DRS to make sure they got their shares. Then if any of them don't, their normal brokerage, say I got my GM shares in my brokerage, right, in Fidelity. I don't get my dividend distribution, then I can go to GameStop and say, hey, I never got my dividend, and they'll be like, show that you don't hold any shares. Then there's the problem that we've been looking for the whole time, is that there's synthetics out there in the market.
Yeah, because I'm tempted to just start building up on GME shares now. I feel good on my lots on AMC and HYMC, but GME's always been expensive.
Here's the thing with GameStop: if you didn't get in for the deadline to qualify for the dividend, you're gonna buy $126 stock that's gonna be split, and you're not gonna get issuance. I think that's how it works. I gotta double check. I think you had to be in by a certain time. So if you're gonna buy GME, wait till the split, because the price will drop, and then you probably look up on shares. It's like if you buy the split and the price drops, you have the same amount of money, you have the same amount of shares. But if you buy it after the split, you're buying it at that low price.
But
So
did they give a deadline yet though?
qualification date was out there, but the deadline for the actual split has not been put out, or the number. But
But they did make a deadline to buy.
sure, don't quote me on it. I think that's what Slim said.
Because I was listening to the call when he made the statement about the split, and they said we'll do the split depending on market situation as well. So it wasn't it doesn't make sense probably to split it if we're like tanked. Like if the whole market tanks, it might not make sense to split. You want to split while you're going, just like Sherwin-Williams did. Sherwin-Williams split at like 700 during the run up during the pandemic. It ran up and they split it at 700 and it split down to 240. So that was brilliant. That was brilliant on Sherwin-Williams' part. Now they got this super high price stock and they created a ton of liquidity. So.
Spence, what up?
What's going on, dude?
I think on that GP, as soon as they mention, or as soon as they've approved, so they actually say, okay, we're going to do it, they'll set an ex-dividend date, so you'll have to be in before that date. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think they've set a date, so I think we're still good. You want call whoever broke. Last time I called, they told me, "Babies, I gotta run and go get a door out of Home Depot." Right.
I'll double check that because I thought for sure that for the vote that they did set a date that you had to be in to qualify for the dividend, but I might be wrong. So I'll ask my buddy who's 100% up on that, and I'll tweet it out today. But if you don't want to buy this right now if you don't qualify for the.
Yeah, what I'm kind of trying to see where the price is going to go. They decide on exactly what split, so they're trying to get the price up higher. So if it's a 2-for-1 at 150, you're going to get $275 shares. But if you're down around $100, you do for a 2-for-1. You're going to get it around 50. So it's they want it higher before they going to be price.
Just another. I was saying, you guys be careful with this volatile. Top 50. Still.
Anyway, I'll let you go. I was up in Saginaw Base, catching one guy, man.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
Have a good day.
Dude.
What's your TA on HYMC? You think it doesn't seem like it's going to drop below 120? That seems like really the bottom. Is that your opinion?
Yeah, that's a really it seems like a really, really solid bottom. I mean, to be honest, all the catalysts going forward are pretty amazing. Mill being set up, the box processing being set up, ban on Russian gold. I mean, it's all just super bullish. The fact that we're coming into a recession, technically, theoretically, you would see gold and silver start rising.
I don't mind it staying low because if it stays at 120, I could buy 100 a day or more.
Right.
I had the decision between that and GME, but I'm kind of thinking of doing the GME and computer share like one a day and buying 100 HYMC and like 10 AMC a day if I can.
Well, that's what I'm doing with AMC with computer share. Is I've been doing nothing but buying them share lately instead of Fidelity. I'm just gonna load up my DRS position for. I'm absolutely 100% that. I think right now, if what I read on the Reddit, DD Froggy had a good call the other day, and he said that you can actually get how many is DRS from computer share. I think I heard correctly. But when I'm looking at my statement from computer share, I see somebody on Reddit posted theirs and identified that the numbers in your account are actually your position in line as far as how many accounts there are with the stock. Mine's, up above 140,000. So if I know that we've got a lot to get computer share and start DRSing lately, quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if some really big numbers came out for this. Yeah, somebody's playing big games with Revlon now because a 15% drop in a 1 minute period, no halt, 2 minute period with no halt isn't, I think a 10% with that amount of time is a volatility halt, but somebody just dumped a lot of shares. I don't see any news coming. Nothing bad anyway. So somebody's dumping shares of Revlon to take cash to probably try to maintain their margin on plays. It's funny that all the indexes are Dow's pumping, the SPY's pumping, the IWM's pumping, IWB's up, C and GME are down. It's Bitcoin popping around 1,000.
Been stable since those guys dropped.
It's been stable since Jim Cramer said Bitcoin 12K. Like quite literally, I've got it marked on my chart that Cramer says Bitcoin. Yeah, Rev's trying to pump back up now. Times like this where I'm like, man, I should buy that thing. But I'm already so heavy in it, I don't know. Balance my portfolio that heavy. 15% dip out of nowhere.
I think HYMC is going to be the next pop. I really feel.
No, I've thought it's going to be for a while. I think all it needs is one good piece of news out there, and they're going to have investors start flocking in. Now that it's part of the Russell, it's a lot more stable. So institutions are going to look at it like, yeah, okay, well, there's Russell. We're banning Russian gold, which is a really big deal. Like I said, Russia's like the number 3 gold. So they're going to have to go to different alternate sources to find these materials, especially with semiconductor plants that are being built and the space flight picking up, aviation's picking up, more and more electronics and computers sold every day. So Highcroft is really setting itself up. A lot of other gold companies, mining companies, don't even have land yet. They're called exploratory companies. Highcroft has land. They have leases. They already have deposits located, and they're all set up. They have all the infrastructure. The fact that it's at $1.20.
And it's only 2% of the land, right?
Yeah, they've only actually explored 2%, 72,000 acres. So all it takes is them going, hey, we've completed our study over all of the land mass. You go start checking these exact zones. I think there's one plot of land that they have leased out to somebody else called the Mine, and they had interest in actually buying that lease back. So if I hear any more on that, I'll let everybody. Diane Garrett.
That shit been quiet. I got to drop off. I got to take a test real quick. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, right on. I'm about ready to close down anyway. I'm gonna start doing a little market open stream every now and then just to talk like overall news. I mean, when you guys come in and tell me stuff too, it helps me. But yeah, nothing big today. Going to the movie. Everybody's blowing it up. The reason AMC is doing so good is we all make it virally trend online. Created a brand name that's globally recognized now, and everyone wants to be part of it. So AMC is going to keep popping.
Hey Spence, real quick, I sent Anne a DM about a Twitter post that's going around, and this person was concerned about Citadel and BlackRock being intertwined or some way connected with ComputerShare, and I thought it was nonsense. I've not looked into it. You and lay eyes on that. That way, you know, you guys just have to voice out of Twitter spaces and space calls and whatnot, and just to get out ahead of that.
That's really old deep Reddit. It's absolutely just false. ComputerShare is a company that actually services a ton of different institutions like AMC. Citadel is one of their customers and or could end up being one of the markets that ComputerShare buys shares from. But when you buy shares with ComputerShare, it doesn't matter because your name is going direct registered into book and off of street. That's the whole. Citadel does not own ComputerShare in any form or fashion. It's literally people who do not understand how to do proper research, and or it's people who don't want us direct registering our shares. I'm pretty sure the entire GameStop crowd has already defunded this. but they wouldn't continue to be doing what they're doing. Citadel owned. What I mean, it's just it's a ridiculous.
Perfect. That's what I thought when I read it, but I want you guys to lay some eyes on it just to confirm that.
Let's identify this tweet. It's by a cartoon character profile image called Rizzo Mr. Sauce Cayman Island, who joined in November of 2019, does not accept DM, says he was an AMC 801 vet, but is coming in and going against the DRS and challenging Robin Hood crowd, or not the Robin Hood crowd, but the PME crowd, which is an absolute, it's just a waste of time. And all he put was hashtag GME DRS. Wow, 12 million shares locked in. Haven't GME elitists done any on CS implemented by BlackRock and Citadel? This will fuck the ass. It's a tweet by a cartoon character, Mr. Rizzo Sauce. So I almost automatically don't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People need to start looking at who's tweeting what, and if it's a verifiable source of information, vetted source of information. Because I could go make an account right now with any type of gorilla or chimpanzee on my profile image and put Mr. 801 AMC 8, say what I want, and I have no responsibility. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, understood.
But it's I've been on everybody's mind. It's been a long running FUD about computer share. But you got to think of this. Right now, all your shares are held in a brokerage that absolutely 100% does have something to do with Citadel. It's called payment for.
Yeah.
So.
True. Right on.
Hey,
Thanks.
before you leave,
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming up, man.
before you leave, Spence, I just want to say, whatever you and Froggy bring to this community, keep doing that. Whatever you both do, we don't need to focus on what people say, and a lot of these people, whatever. You don't have to prove anybody anything.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
what you have done nothing but brought knowledge, education for this community. So let people be people. If they are here just for that gossip talks and bashing, have calls. If that's all they're here for drama, let them be them. But you both bring a lot to this community, and just keep being you guys. Keep educating people, and keep providing us knowledge. And we appreciate whatever you.
Cool, man. It's great that he can do the afternoon. I love going to Froggy Styles Call. You guys should all check him up there in the listeners right now. Yeah, I appreciate that, Sugar, man. I'm going to start trying to do on and off during the week, like maybe Tuesday and market call. Froggy can clear up everything after hours. That way we don't miss any news. Because Froggy can come in and listen while he's busy. We can rehash topics out in the afternoon. We get down to the there in his call in the afternoon. That's how we found the Revlon run and multiple other things going on with Max Payne. Staying out of the options on the meme stocks. And DRS thing. We're clearing up so much computer share FUD between the two of us in the calls that people are now realizing, yes, we can go use computer share. It is simple to use, and it is making an effect, as we saw in the news today. Now the news is even talking about the GameStop crowd locking their float in. What happens when you lock your float in direct registered? Those shares cannot be shorted. Those shares cannot be loaned out. So it puts a pinch on the short sellers, especially if they're holding synthetic shorts. If they're holding naked shorts, they now have to either close those or prove they're real, because if they ever get recalled on it, they're going to get destroyed. And that can happen if they prove the float's locked in. So when that dividend hits, you got 14, 15 million shares direct registered, sure are going to go issue a dividend to. That's that many shares out in the market. They got to figure out what to do with it. You know what I mean? So the 13 million shares that are out in the market that aren't real, they're going to have to figure out how to issue dividends. Take he dropped again. Bullish is Bullish Ape's having trouble up in the room. But I'm going to end up closing it down anyways. I just wanted to check the morning market news, check the pre-market. It's pretty gross today. Highcroft down, AMC. Oh, AMC popped green again. That's good. There you go. AMC's green. Now we got good news. DME has just been getting absolutely slammed for the past week and a half, but it's popping green today, so that's Revlon took a big smack in the face this morning on that one. I'm going to continue to follow Revlon, though. I may try to grab a couple $6 price, but I'm going to be keeping my eyes and keep your eyes out for news on any more hedge funds out of business. Pretty sure there's some coming soon. I would imagine that Tiger Global is probably in. And we still haven't heard anything more about Charles or Bill Wang with Pagos and what's going on with him. He's got like a jail sentence, and I'm sure it's coming up about him rolling on other institutions. I think there's a lot coming up, and I think it's all good for. Make sure you go to the movies, go to GameStop, and do all the good stuff, and enjoy your week, you guys. And I'll try to pop back on maybe Thursday for another market chat. So appreciate everybody that.
Thank you, man. Have a
Right
great
on.
day.
Thanks, Spence.
Keep your foot off the gas pedal, sugar.
Hey, man, I gotta make it to pay for it, you know.
Right. Have a good one, buddy.
You too, brother. You too. Take care.
Bye. All right, everybody, thanks for coming. If you could, please hit like, subscribe. I'm going to start trying to do consistent pre-market chats for, what did we go, about an hour? Almost an hour. I'm going to keep it at that. Just going to cover news. I appreciate everybody that came into the chat and gave me a bunch of information. SPY has to hit 349 before it starts the recovery. Yep, from Havana Wood. Both Adam Aaron and Ryan Cohen keep the apes in the dark by saying pounce, buckle up. Yeah, I agree, man. I think there's a lot coming for both stocks. I'm really excited. What else? No dates, no deadlines for GME dividend split. Yeah, I got to find out if you had to have the stock before if you had to have the stock before the proxy vote to qualify for the dividend. I don't know yet. I got to find that out from my buddy. But I'm loving what GME is doing. And thanks me what for the Sprott and Highcroft news. Looks like I better take my dog outside before he doo-doos on the floor. But you guys have a good day, man. Thanks for coming. And